everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be a little color chat. I am working on a whip in a Disney color by number Grand Classiques Tomb 7. And this is just a side page that ended up getting some pigment from my previous page on it, and so I just decided to fix it and see how it goes. Pressing through from my Chicken Little, as you can see here, that I finished a while back, and I had gotten some red pigment from my Prismas pushed through when I was blending, so I was trying to figure out how to get rid of it one way. So I ended up pushing it back with some white. I erased some, but mainly I want to do some color mixing and cover it all up and how it doesn't affect your original image in the video. So we'll work on that, and I'm using my Prismacolor pencils, and then I also pulled out this because my grays are getting low and I don't have a lot of gray replacement pencils right now. And I saw this grayscale set by Masters Art on Amazon, and I also saw it on Christina's Art Corner channel. So I thought for the meantime I would test these out and see how I like these on this page while I work on getting some replacements of my Prismas. So we're going to do that. And also while we're coloring, I am going to kind of answer some questions I have off here to the side from a video tag that Amanda Colors put out on YouTube a while back and recommended other YouTube colorists kind of make videos and answer these questions. So, and it's called Get to Know Me, and I don't think I've really done a Get to Know Me color and chat on the channel, so I thought this would be a good start. So I'm going to work on, let's see, I've done all the A's, so I think I'm going to do the B's, and I'm going to use this rock blue out of this Master Art set because it kind of works very well with this B set, and we're just going to kind of get in here and get going. So I hope everyone is doing well. I'll kind of bring it down. I'm gonna work on this one section here a little bit so you can kind of see what I'm doing. Move the book more in view and just kind of go from there. So I hope everyone is doing well. I'm doing well myself, so lots of stuff going on around here, but let's get into the questions. So the first question is, where do I live? So I'm actually I live in Wisconsin in the United States, in a small little town in eastern or western Wisconsin, close to Minnesota. And then I also live on a lake, so I'm in one of the lake towns, so which is nice. The next question is, when did I start coloring? So I started coloring when I was a kid as a hobby, because my grandma, I spent a lot of time at my grandma's and my grandparents' house when I was younger. My grandma would have this coloring drawer of coloring books and crayons for when all the grandchildren would come over. So I just kind of started coloring because of that, and then I would color at home. I was always into art and art making and doing all kinds of different hobbies because my grandmas loved to like quilt and knit, paint. My one grandma painted stained glass. She did ceramics. She painted ceramics, which I have some of her art pieces put away. so that they don't get damaged. I have another grandma who painted that I never got to meet. My dad has her stuff on his mantle. She loved to paint Native American art. My mom doesn't paint, but she used to cross stitch. She cooks, she knits, she sews. So art has always been in our houses, or our house as growing up, not houses, sorry. I have another aunt that does quilting, cooks and bakes and sews and does all of that. So I basically started coloring very young. So the next question is why did I start YouTube? So I started YouTube as a fun hobby after I left my job in 2020. I didn't start YouTube though until like 2021 and really making video content for adult coloring. And I basically started it as a hobby and a way to use all my administrative assistant office skills and also, you know, with my love of art, to kind of incorporate that in. And I didn't realize there was like a whole community of tutorials out there, and even for adult coloring and stuff. So it was just more of like an activity, something to do because I'm disabled, a way to keep my skills in check and keep learning new software like video editing and stuff. So I just thought it would be something fun to do, and I've really enjoyed doing it. Enjoy making videos and stuff, getting better at making better quality videos and trying new things in the video editing software. Oops, I went out of the line over here. Ooh, these pencils erase really good. These are more of a harder wax. Anyways, that's off topic here. Sorry. They're not as buttery as the Prismas. I will say that, but they work. And anyways, back to what we were talking about. Sorry there. So yeah. Oh. Brain fart! Sorry. Thinking what I was talking about and trying to concentrate and focus on two things is hard sometimes. Sorry for me. So, let me just kind of think what we were talking about. It's why I started YouTube. Kind of give you that answer. So, let's just kind of move on to the next question. And while I'm working here, so the next one is, what do I do for my free time? So my free time, I like to read books. I like to go hiking and exercising, which I'm working on losing weight. I like to hike in the state park. The local state park that's not far from me, called Interstate Park. See, what else do I love spending time with family, playing games with my siblings and my nephews. We like classic board games. We also like playing video games together. Let's see, what else do we enjoy doing together? I enjoy doing in my free time. I like to sleep. That's a given though. With my disability, sometimes I sleep too much with my migraine headaches, though. But I do like to sleep. Let's see. Free time. I like going to the library and traveling and going, and I also like going to concerts sometimes and music festivals. I used to go to concerts a lot when I was younger, in my youth group days, in my youth group. And I don't go to them as much just because they're expensive now. I also have to wear earplugs and stuff because it can get a little too loud. But I think the last time I went to a concert was back in 2017. Yeah. The last band I saw was Freaking Country. Awesome live show. Got to go see their live show. It is migraine triggering because of the light show, but it was worth it to see it at least once. But I actually saw it twice. So that's kind of like what I like to do in my free time. I also like watching TV and things like that in my free time. I'm watching House of the Dragon right now. I like Game of Thrones. As for like TV shows, I'm big into like the fantasy genre and historical fiction. I love a good king and queen battle versus good versus evil, stuff like that. I'm really enjoying House of the Dragon. Next question. What I do for work? Well, right now, I haven't worked since 2020, like I said. I'm disabled. I've been disabled since I've been a child. Don't really want to go into a lot of that on the channel because it can be very boring, and I don't want to, seem like I'm asking for sympathy or anything like that. Been disabled because of medical reasons. With PTSD and head injury. I've talked about it before. Migraines, stuff like that. But I do a lot of volunteer work. I like volunteering for local. I've done a lot of Christian camps, working in their front office. I've worked in a homeless shelter. I've worked in a nursing home doing office work. I've also done volunteer work in the hospital, in a nursing home setting. So I've done a lot of things like that. Throughout growing up and stuff, I've delivered Meals on Wheels with my mom, delivered food, worked at delivered food banks to people that were homebound. I've always done some sort of philanthropy, humanitarian work, volunteering, because it just makes you a well-rounded person and stuff, and it keeps you busy and out of trouble instead of being left to your own devices at home. So my favorite, okay, so this is more geared to like favorite coloring book, but I'm gonna do two different things. I'm going to do a favorite kind of style of coloring books, and then I'm going to tell you what my favorite all-time like book to read is. So my favorite coloring books, you've seen a lot on my channel, is Disney. So I like the Disney Color by Numbers. I'm also a big Kirby Rosanes fan. I love Fragile World coloring book. That's the one I've done the most in since out of all of my collection, as I've done a lot in the Disney books. I also like Camilla d'Errico stuff and her pop manga, which I'm not really into anime, but I just like her sketchiness of the style of her books. Let's see. And then my all-time favorite book to read is my Bible. Second to my Bible would be my fantasy books. Like, I just got done reading the Fourth Wing series. It's not completely done. There's going to be 6 books in the series, so I've read the first 2 and absolutely loved it and loved the storyline and everything. So I am anxiously waiting for Onyx Storm because I want to know what happens to Violet and her friends. So that my favorite mediums for supplies would be colored pencils. If I was doing like my other stuff like mixed media things, I would say acrylic paint because I like acrylic paint. I haven't ventured into like oils or watercolors, but I also love using inks and stuff, and that's more so in my own original art versus what's in my coloring books. So the next question is a secret skill. Do I have a secret skill? Secret skill. That's a hard one. I have to think about a secret skill. I guess everybody, like my friends and families, like family, definitely think that I'm very resourceful. So I'd say my resourcefulness to find good information out about things is kind of like my secret skill. And I think that's because the field that I've chosen to work in, you know, you have to be really good at like knowing your computer software, like your Office. You have to know how to like store and manage data and stuff like that. So I would say that's more so my secret skill. Okay. The next question on this list is collections, like your coloring book collection, I would assume. I don't know how to answer that one because I have a wide variety of different illustrators in my collection, and different themes, different styles of books. I guess right now I could tell you I have about 108. I don't have my phone right in front at my desk where I'm coloring, so I can't really give you an exact number, but I have about 118 coloring books in my collection. And then I have a vast art book collection going, of traditional fine art. And then I have like 3 book collections. I have a book, I'm building like my fantasy, some romance, mystery. It just depends on the mystery drama and the mystery writer. Library, I usually source a lot of my books from thrift books or eBay or some sort of like used bookstore after a while. So it's kind of, sorry, I'm not coloring, I'm thinking. I'll get back to the coloring while I'm thinking out loud. So I guess that would be my answer for that. Let's see here. My greatest accomplishment. There's several. Yes, my greatest one of my greatest accomplishments is actually not taking my own life. Because I've tried several times over the years, and I would say that would be my greatest accomplishment, was failing at all of that. My other great accomplishments is one, graduating from college 3 times when I was told that I would never graduate from college. The other greatest accomplishment was losing 150 pounds. I did gain like 90 some of that back, but I'm working on losing it again. Because it used to be 367 pounds, and I've now lost well over 50 some pounds. Another great accomplishment is actually working at a job for longer than a year. I struggled with working in jobs, so I worked at my last job before the pandemic for 2.5 years, and that was, I felt like, was a great accomplishment. Another great accomplishment was staying sober for let's see, 2019 to now, from drinking alcohol. I'm not a big drinker anyways, but that I find that the last time I had a drink was in 2019. See, in 2011 I started not being on antidepressants on a regular basis. From 2011 till now, which was, those are huge accomplishments. Especially we live in a very chaotic world, and depression is a very easily issue that we all can deal with. So those are kind of some of my great accomplishments. The next one is childhood memories. Like, what are some childhood memories? I think my favorite childhood memories are going to the circus and riding elephants when I was little, because of all the times of going to the circus. Let's see, what else about childhood is uniquely special. We had a lot of like backyard camping trips. Like we couldn't really afford to travel, but we, as a family, we loved to camp, and we would go see other family members when they were camping. And so we decided to kind of make our backyard into a campsite and an adventure. When I was younger, my mom and my stepdad would set up the tent in the backyard, and we'd pull our sleeping bags out, and we'd bring our toys out, and we'd play in the tent. Because I grew up in a small town that had less than 250 people in it, and we had a lot of freedom. So yes, I would have loved to explore around the United States growing up, but it was fun just exploring out in our backyard, going to my grandparents' house, houses a lot and spending a lot of time there. Just fun. Loving music as a kid. I used to be big into like the boy bands. I mean, I started out with like New Kids on the Block, then it moved into Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, Hanson. I mean, I listened to 80s music with my dad, my stepdad, and blasting Boston, Cheap Trick, all of that when we were out in the yard working on bikes, or just we would crank the radio up. We'd go for these great drives around our area and looking for deer at night, or just driving to get out of where we were. I mean, I had to use my imagination a lot, and I kind of enjoyed using my imagination more than just, you know, relying. I mean, this is the 80s and 90s. We didn't really have all this technology like the kids do these days. I mean, I barely had a video game system or a phone attached to me. I don't know what it's like texting. I hate texting, and sometimes I hate talking on the phone, and I'd just rather show up at my friend's house and say, hey, how you doing? I mean, I got kicked out of the house half of the day, but most of the time when I got kicked out of the house to go play, I would always bring my art supplies with me in the yard. I would find something to be creative with. I mean, we had bunnies, we've had snapping turtles in our yard, we had turkeys lay eggs in our yard because we live next to a zoo, a small little zoo, and a turkey got out. Fortunately, that we never really had little turkeys after that, because the turkeys didn't survive. But we've done like lots of fun things like that. The next question on the list is, what am I passionate about? So I'm extremely passionate about making sure that people don't go without food. It's been one of the things that I've worked in nonprofit a lot, is making sure that people are never without. My mom was always instilling service work in us, and to this day I am still passionate about serving others more than actually being about myself. I would give the shirt off my back to anybody if I could, no matter what it would cost me. And I have done it, and it's cost me some friends in the end. It's cost me, you know, it's quite expensive sometimes, but I've been one to just kind of constantly be there for people no matter what. So that's what I am kind of passionate about. And okay, so the next question is, what makes me smile? So what makes me smile every day is my nephews make me smile. My cat Toby makes me smile. My nephews, Jimmy, Josiah, and Noah, are just a hoot. They are so proud of their auntie for having this YouTube channel. They love watching it, and they love calling me and asking for art supplies, and they love coloring with me. Noah and Josiah just absolutely love coloring with me. I don't get to do it very often because they live in the cities, but I will be going out of town to see them because I haven't been able to drive over there, so I haven't had my car. My family makes me smile. You know, my siblings. My lot of things make me smile. Having my non-bio recovery family makes me smile. Knowing that they're there for me and I can talk to anybody I need to, that makes me smile. The kids that I've helped out and when I was doing kinship and mentorship and stuff, that makes me smile. The volunteer work, any kind of service that I do makes me smile. Not because I want a pat on the back, but because I really enjoy doing that stuff. It's like it's in my blood. So the next question is 3 coloring books on my wish list. Oh, that's a toughie because I have a lot on my wish list. I guess, well, the next, let's see, I have, so out of the Disney Coloring by Number books, I have all the way up to volume 9. So I guess volume 10, 11, and 12 would be the next 3 that I want to get. But I told myself I'm not buying them until I make a huge chunk of coloring in the books that I have. A favorite random fact. Ooh. That's a toughie. Because I don't have a random fact on top of my head to answer that one. So we're just going to pass that one. The next one is, what coloring book you wished existed? So for me, of a type of coloring book that I wish existed would be more of like different styles of paper besides having the cheap Amazon paper. So like I actually wish there was like a coloring book that had more mixed media paper in it and a heavier grade paper versus this really cheap flimsy stuff, because we experiment and do so much in our books. I wish there was an actual marker paper like for alcohol markers. And there is one book that's on my wish list called Galaxy Girls that was made specifically for alcohol markers. So that's 4 books. So that's the type of coloring books I wish that they would just do better quality paper books. And then, what challenges have you faced or overcome? Well, I shared some of that earlier. I've had to face the challenge of obesity. I mean, that is a huge challenge, and I'm still facing it and still trying to overcome it. Staying sober is a huge challenge, and working on continuing to overcome it. And another question would be the strangest food combos I enjoy. Well, this isn't really the strangest. I really enjoy peanut butter and jelly. More so just peanut butter, or peanut butter and honey. So, and I have ever since I was little. So, I mean, that would be like my only, I wouldn't call it strange. So, but another strange food combo would be ranch dressing on pizza. I really like that. And the last question for this get to know me thing is, what's your favorite color pencil set? And that's a big question, open-ended question, because I have several sets. And I have some budget and I have some high end, and to be honest, they're kind of all my favorites, and I just don't have one particular favorite. For a while, I wasn't even a fan of Prismacolors, and I got them last year on Black Friday for Christmas, and now all of a sudden, I'm a Prismacolor fan. So, but I'm not a Prismacolor only. I mean, I use other pencils with it. But if I'm still a really big fan of Black Widows. Still learning how to use them with a lot of my other sets. I haven't used them in a while, but I use them a lot in my Kirby books. Let's something do it. So that's all the questions for this tag, the Get to Know Me tag. So I really hope that you enjoyed this video. Sorry I didn't get much done except this one little section here, which I will continue to be working on this whip. So if you have any more questions or really want to get to know me more, you can contact me through the comments. I'm on Instagram, and we can chat and chit chat some more. I'd love to hear from all of you. And until next time, I will catch you in the next video. Remember to be kind, and remember there are no mistakes in art. So be kind to your neighbor and love one another, and I will catch you all in the next video.